That means it's time for a psychic party. One of my favorite things. I have a sign. Late again. Late again? What do you mean late again? I was checking out the breaking news. Besides, I've told you that sometimes I'll be late, right? Good evening, Bond Blue. I have your crystals right here. They're, I should just wear them on my head. I'm tuning in. These are bags of crystals that Bond Blue sent me. So sweet. Hello. So, yeah, there's breaking news. So, I was listening to Joy Reid for a few minutes. You know that I'll be here. I did call this, if you recall. I did call this, when I read on it, I did see that we would keep the right to have a Millepristone. Am I saying that right? Yeah, well, the cards were really clear that they wouldn't take it off the market. We still have a long way to go. Oh, that the abortion pill is still allowed. And then they follow it up with, for now. I was actually tuning into Ketanji Brown Jackson and seeing what she would be feeling and expressing on the Supreme Court. So I do think we have reason to be hopeful. All hope is never all lost, because we do have a Joe Biden appointee on the Supreme Court, and she's normal. How are things in sunny Naples, Florida? Do let us know. I kind of couldn't decide what cards to use, so I'm deciding now. I feel like I want to use the Psychic Tarot. It's Friday Night Live! Exactly. Let me turn the light on a little bit. Turn it up a bit. That's not my right remote. Hang on. Bear with me. Alright. So tell me how your day went, how your week went. Here we are, it's winding down. I mean, we're heading into the weekend, folks. Yeah, we have to stay on it. By the way, my t-shirt that I put in my chair is compliments of Midas Touch. They have a merch store. Pretty good. That's pretty much what we're up against. We're up against a party of fascists that are banking on that we'll hate each other. That's what they bank on. They want us to hate one another. And they want women to not have rights. So we got a lot of fixing to do. Yeah, Midas Touch. So I'm going to take a look at 3 cards. Midas Touch, they got it going on. And you know what I just have to say about these people that are committed to having YouTube channels and bringing people together and talking about democracy. Hats off, we inspire one another, and that's a big part of why it's so great to have all that going on the internet. So what I'm going to do is pick 3 cards about the situation with the abortion pill not being banned. What we can expect. Well, let's first ask this. Let's ask about the energy of this decision process that they were in today. Just moments ago. It was like about maybe half an hour ago. We got the word that they're not going to ban the abortion pill. You bought a bag and shirt from the Midas Touch. Great stuff. Good. Yeah, and Terry at Grassroots of Democracy, she bought I think Maria did too, something I read banned books. Yeah. Yeah, the Republicans Well, the fascists are all about hate, yeah. Yeah, we'll get to Marjorie Taylor Greene. Sheesh. Oh, thanks, Cheryl. I'm glad you're here. Welcome to all the regulars and welcome to the new people. Please subscribe. It's all about controlling women. And you know what I want to say about this whole issue of abortion, and you can fight me on this. It's totally fine. I think seriously, this is just my opinion. I think it's a disservice to say pregnant people, and I've got nothing against trans people. Let me just clarify, because the feeling of the sentiment here is misogyny, is hatred of women, and I just think it gets watered down. That this is about hatred against women. They already have their trans bans going on, so that's just my preference. Is to hear pregnant women, and you can totally fight me on it, it's fine. But my point is, this is a battle against women. This is about women need to be put in their place. And the whole trans ban is another thing that they're doing. So that kind of falls under that category. So, you know how you have to say things really carefully nowadays, because people will just, attack you in the chat and stuff, but that's the reason I feel that way, is because the misogyny has to be pretty much like pointed out. This is out and out misogyny. Yeah, no one likes abortion, and when a woman gets raped and she's a girl's a victim of incest, and when there are complications and pregnancies and they have to save the life of the mother, so many reasons. And this is about healthcare. A lot of OBGYN clinics, many have been shut down because they couldn't get people to work there. So it's unbelievable. So we're going to look at the energy that went into the Supreme Court decision to keep access to the abortion pill for now. That's what I keep hearing, is for now. And what I'm doing is I'm reading on the energy of the Supreme Court. Yeah, so it seems like people here agree with me on that. It waters down the whole what's going on. Is it's a war on women. They already have their war on trans, right? So, which is horrible. There's a trans representative, maybe a senator, I didn't catch the person's name, that has been banned from speaking out again after she spoke their truth. I'm telling you, it's not a democracy right now, but we'll get it back. Fought too hard to go back to the 80s, and to the 50s? I'm sorry, I can't see you. Well, okay, to all the women who say a lot that I already thought about this, good for you. I'm grateful that you put the energy in and you fought for women's rights. I'm grateful for that. Really grateful. And we live in a democracy, and just because we already did it doesn't mean we shouldn't expect to have to do it again, right? Yeah, thank you, Betty. We're still fighting, right? I'm not saying you people that are here, I'm just saying I've kind of heard that sentiment of, I can't believe I'm doing this again. I'm not saying you're doing this. But that's the reason that we are in the position that we're in our democracy. One of the most glaring reasons is that we went to sleep and we stopped fighting. We thought, oh, it's okay, everything's handled, we can stop fighting now. And that didn't work. Anyway, what went on with the Supreme Court decision that, from what I'm hearing, it's like, for now. Yeah, we have to keep going. So none of us are complaining that we have to keep fighting, right? We consider it a privilege, right? We consider it a privilege. As far as what went on in the Supreme Court, I do feel like It was the Ketanji Brown Jackson and Sotomayor. I don't know if I'm saying, I think I just brutalized that woman's name. The other one. The other woman who's normal. Sotomayor, is that right? It feels like they were really effective in their arguments. And Memories of Love and Heart Chakra, they really spoke up. Those two justices. And what they were keeping in mind was, and the reason that they swayed the others to not throw out the right to the abortion pill, the reason they got swayed, I know you probably guessed this, you probably already feel this way, but Thomas can't really be, he can't look any worse than he already does, and so Alito, and also Alito and Roberts, they risk looking worse than they already look. Don't get me wrong, it's all about them. Yeah, this is about women's health. So this is an attack on women who identify as women. That's what this is an attack on. Well, yeah, I'm not saying that Clarence Thomas comes out smelling like a rose here by any stretch of the imagination. What I'm saying is he didn't want one more thing. Sotomayor. I did kind of say it right. So Clarence Thomas doesn't have compassion, obviously. Alito doesn't have compassion. They're both, and Roberts. I don't know, Alito's definitely a misogynist and Clarence Thomas is definitely a misogynist. The judge in Texas is definitely a misogynist. And Roberts, a little less, but he's also a misogynist, if I want to look at the levels of misogyny. So, been there and staying there. Been there and staying there. Work with me, people. Can you work with this? That's you. If you fought for women's rights when abortion became legal, awesome. Really grateful. You deserve rewards. You deserve a gazillion bells. And it's a privilege to do it again. Just saying. It's a privilege to be able to do it again. It's a privilege because we live in a democracy that's it's hobbling along. If we're out there protesting again, that's a privilege. Understand that these fascists are working hard at taking away the right to protest. Right? Stay woke. They're trying to take away the right to protest. So, if I live into my 90s, I'll be protesting, right? Because it's a privilege. So, Kathy, it says it's too bad that RBG isn't on the Supreme Court right now. Don't think she's not working behind the scenes from the spiritual realm. Okay, this is interesting because I wasn't asking for anything really specific, but I'm still reading on the Supreme Court. This is the beginning of something turning around. Huh, interesting. The emotional loss, this is indicating that a lot of women are suffering under these abortion bans. I mean, abortion is not legal in a lot of states and they're still trying to stop the mail. They're still trying to stop women from crossing the over to different states. Unbelievable. And the fertility card is here. So I'm not actually looking at this as pregnancy, but fertility card. This being here, this really points more to women having the power, the new beginnings and the fertility after the emotional loss. So it does look like bit by bit, we're going to be crawling back and getting women's rights back. Little by little. And by the same token, little by little, the Supreme Court will continue to try to keep chipping away at things and then throwing it to the states, which you know how that's going, right? Now, do I see an ethics committee in the Supreme Court? There's going to be an ethics, a hearing. Dick Durbin is heading a hearing. I don't know if I saved that information. I don't think I did. But there is going to be a hearing about ethics. It's not just about women suffering. Children have the right to be... Yeah, I mean, how many people will suffer because of these abortion bans? It is mind-boggling when you think about the fact that if you're wealthy, if you're white and wealthy and rich, and you're a woman who's pregnant and doesn't want to be, can get an abortion because they have the means. This is going to affect all low-income women. Anyway, I just wanted to point out our friend Cleta Mitchell, who complains, what are these college campus locations and polling? What is this young people effort that they do? Referring to voting. They basically put the polling place next to the student dorm, so they just have to roll out of bed, vote, and go back to bed. Have you guys seen this? Cleta Mitchell, who was a Trump lawyer, I believe. Oh, we have to solve this problem of voting. Remember when Trump said it's the votes? Oh, we have to just get rid of the votes and we'll be good? Yes, you saw this. If you haven't seen it, look up Cleta, C-L-E-T-A Mitchell. Tells RNC donors to combat campus voting. Fight campus voting. Fight campus voting. Because it's democracy. Unfreaking believable. I'm going to read about her fate. You remember when Trump said that? Yeah. Yeah. Unbelievable. Oh, is it Virginia? Ah, these pesky students. They're letting them vote. They're letting them participate in democracy. Oh, we have a problem here. We have to solve this problem of young people voting. Give me a break. Who's going to inherit this mess? Our youth won't let that happen. I think that you're right about that. We have to keep our rights to vote intact, and we have to keep our young people involved, and we have to keep our right to protest intact. There were kids in Florida today that are protesting. At least her recording has gone viral. Yeah, I mean, let's hear it. Bell for that. To all the investigative journalists and the whistleblowers, say a little prayer of gratitude for them. Because at least they're showing us what's happening that we might not know otherwise. That is a huge gift. I'm going to actually read 3 cards on what's going to happen. A positive vote during the Mercury retrograde. Yeah, so, I mean, with the Supreme Court. That's still, you know, it's still quirky. Thanks for helping Annette. Anybody that helps me, thank you. I appreciate it. All you that are helping me that just by being here. The Republican plan to win. Yeah, Joan, absolutely right. 100%. The Republican plan to win in 2024 is to get rid of these pesky voters. Just like Trump would say when he was asked about election, when he was in the White House. I shudder just thinking about it. Well, the problem is all those votes. All those votes. I mean, what's amazing? You have 5 adult sons that are voting now, thank goodness. Yeah, stay on it. I do think that things will get stronger in terms of our voting rights. Tell everybody that you know that would be remotely able to be involved in helping our democracy. Just tell them to be involved. It's so, so, so important. They aren't really smart, thank God. Yeah, I know. And all these people are being outed. It just doesn't mean that we can't really breathe a sigh of relief. We're not going to be able to breathe a sigh of relief until the Democrats have taken back the House and the Senate and are in the majority. We're not going to be able to breathe a sigh of relief until we have voting rights back, and we won't be able to breathe a sigh of relief until women have their rights back and that we have a Democrat elected in 2024. Well, we could probably there are different levels of sighs of relief. You know what I mean? We have to still be involved. Let's see what's going to happen with Cleta Mitchell. Yes, when the Democrats take back the House, that's going to take a huge weight off. Huge. Oh, Cleta Mitchell, how you doing? Oh, I feel like she's freaking out too. Oh, yeah, kind of Ginny Thomas vibes, but even more hysterical. We're reading it on Cleta Mitchell, Clean Sweep 2024. But the most important thing, in order to have a clean sweep in 2024, is we've got to fight to get our voting rights back. Really critically important to get out the vote. So this is about Cleta Mitchell. She's feeling isolated. We need 10 more people in the majority. We can't let our guard down. I'm glad you're all with me. I appreciate it. And remember, well-behaved women never made history. This is about exactly what I'm saying. She's suffering in silence. Cleta Mitchell, the one who wants to get rid of that pesky voting of those young people. One of the authors said that they took a banned book off the shelves of high schoolers' protested book went back on the shelves. Good, Barbara. Thanks for sharing that. This is about Cleta Mitchell, who's trying to get rid of those pesky young people voting, get rid of their right to vote, and this is a triumph for the students. Interesting. It's a triumph for the students. Yeah, I think that there's a lot of Cleta Mitchells out there. Poor Cleta. Oh, I know. Aren't you just tears? Oh, poor Cleta. Oh, she was just crying and crying. She's not okay right now. Miss Cleta Mitchell. I picked up on Ginny Thomas being so having anxiety and panic attacks. With Cleta Mitchell, it's a total freak out. She's like, what do you call it? It's just, she's in shock. She's shocked and hysterical. With Ginny Thomas, it feels more like a kind of a constant state. This woman, it feels like she holds it together, but she's not able to hold it together right now. And I kind of pick up on, for entertainment purposes only, it's just when I'm picking up, Cleta Mitchell. So what should we call her? She's a Cleta Mitchell. She's the voting rights for kids hater. Oh, we'll think of something. I feel like she's wanting to leave. She's wanting to leave the country and go to some island somewhere right now. Basket case. Yes, that's the energy I'm picking up on right now is basket case. Because, these people hyperventilate when they get caught. They totally do. They just lose their, when they get caught. Because of this sort of, they live in a bubble. Crybaby Cleta, I like it. I was just trying to put into the nickname something that had to do with that she hates young voters. HYV Cleta, It's really, they live in a bubble. How can someone be against voting? Well, listen to this. They're against democracy. The reason, and they really are, they're anti-voting. They're against democracy. They live in a democracy and they're enemies of democracy. And the reason that they're enemies of democracy is because they live in a bubble. And the bubble that they live in is they have millions upon millions of dollars, and billionaires go into this category too. And they get not only tax breaks, but many of them don't even have to pay taxes. And if you don't have to pay taxes, you get to stay, you get more bubbles. You get to have more and more, but you live in a bubble and then you get to buy other bubbles and, buy yachts and all this. And it gives them this false sense of being better than anybody else. And they need that because their self-esteem is based in material stuff, and there's a hole in their souls, and they don't want anybody else to have anything nice because they're actually in a lack mentality. They're in a lack mentality, and it's a power trip. They have to maintain this idea that they are all powerful. That's why they don't want democracy. They want a kleptocracy. Look at Ron DeFascist. Do you think Ron DeFascist has high self-esteem? Cleta bubble brains. I kind of like it. Do you think Ron DeFascist has high self-esteem? Do you think Trump has high self-esteem? Do you think Kevin McCarthy has high self-esteem? Do you think that George Santos has high self-esteem? Well, when he's in his high self-esteem personality, and his multiple personalities, maybe. They can't fill the hole. They have a hole in their damn soul. People that want power should never have it. People that want to be true leaders should have power. And that's real power. That's why they project. Kleptocracy craving Cleta. I like it. Arrogance trumps self-esteem. Interesting choice of words. Yeah. I mean, it's just like real men are caring and compassionate. And they don't have to be all bigger than every other guy in every way, right? Real men have feelings and they care and they have compassion and kindness. When was the last time we saw that in the Republican Party? Here's a test. Quiz. Challenge. Real men have compassion and can be gentle and caring and empathetic. Real men are like that. Name one person in the Republican Party that's demonstrated that recently. That's Thomas. Are you in the Republican Party? John McCain, but he's not with us anymore. I mean, somebody who's on the earth plane right now. John McCain was a Republican in a different time. These are not Republicans. That's for sure. Why did Disney cancel their... Was that a Disney thing? I thought that was just a gay pride parade. I think you might have the story mixed up. Yeah, I'm just talking... Yeah, McCain was definitely that. But that was a different era and it was a different thing. Somebody's saying, why did Disney cancel the gay pride thing? That wasn't... Disney's having their event. That's you when I said real men are caring. Yeah, that's what I'm referring to, Thomas. You're a real man. Will somebody Google what pride thing got canceled in Florida, please? Because I didn't get that was the Disney thing. The Disney thing is more than a parade. I don't even think that it is a parade. I haven't read enough about it. But Disney's having an event. Let's ask the pendulum. Yeah, so you all agree with me, but real men. I mean, I think of Arnold Schwarzenegger. Does he have to prove his physical strength? Yeah, I was asking... I know, Jimmy Carter's a real caring human being, but what I'm asking is, Can you think of anybody who currently in the Republican Party, maybe I should clarify my question, that is caring and compassionate? Maybe I just don't know them. All right, I'm here. No, it's not. Sandra, aren't you in Florida? Who's in Florida? Did Disney cancel their gay pride event? I'm getting a no on that. Mitt Romney? Well, I've heard Mitt Romney. Maybe Mitt Romney. Mitt Romney was the governor of Massachusetts when we got Mass Health. Massachusetts was the first state in the country to get health care. Port St. Lucie canceled the gay... Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It was a gay pride parade got canceled, but not Disney. Yeah, Disney's having an event. It's not just a parade. Oh, you just told me the answer. I'm sorry, Sandy. You know, I apologize. It's hard for me to follow. Let's see. Yeah, got it. Got it. Okay. Well, since we're on the topic, let's look at, oh, we even have the dates for the gay event. June 13th and June 15th at night. I'm so tempted to go there, but I'm not going to go to Florida. Just because, you know, just to see how it goes. All right. Okay, got it. We cleared that up. Okay, let's see how Disney's doing. We're just going to read on how is Disney faring. Now, actually, this is actually good for Disney. A new law against drag queens with arrest for all. What? You mean in Florida, right? The guys just said that's not going to last. COVID is still raging in Florida. Yeah, let's ban drag shows, but let's make it easy to have guns. I'm going to show you what somebody sent me today. And I will post it too. What somebody sent me today. I'm going to show it to you. It says, never in recorded history has a 4-year-old found his father's loaded book and accidentally killed his younger sister, but we ban books. Never in recorded history has a 4-year-old found his father's loaded book and accidentally killed his younger sister, but we ban books. One of my viewers sent me that. We have to stop this. We have to stop this. We all have lots of gay friends, right? Right? We have nothing against other people for just being people. It's ridiculous. We will not let hate win. Let's remember, we will not let hate win. Got it? Of course we won't. Hi, Australia. Good to see you. How's Disney doing? This is good for Disney, right? Let everybody live in peace, right? This is good for Disney. I'm getting it's good for Disney. I like worldwide. This is good for Disney. Love is winning. Love is winning. We love everyone, right? I mean, the only reason that a normal people would have a problem with somebody is if they were terrible, if they were nasty, if they were mean, if they were criminal. Right? Ron DeSantis' new oversight board has discovered yet another 11th hour agreement that allows the Walt Disney Company to set its own utility rates. I'll have to read up on that. Disney is fine. Disney has more money than you can even imagine in your head. Look, I'm reading on Disney. Power! That reminds me of The Lion King. Where does all the hate come from? Insecurity. Love begins. I'm reading on Disney. Crown chakra, the higher power. Taking the higher road. Yeah. This is about Disney. I'm reading, how's Disney faring right now? Power, fed by the higher power, the crown chakra. Next to Satan will ban laughter. He doesn't even know how to laugh. Love begins. So Disney World is going to be standing for inclusivity. Hey Pam. Glad you said hi. Yeah. What's going to be highlighted is, like, Disney World is going to highlight, we are this big, giant, huge corporation, the most visited tourist attraction on the planet. And we are putting a spotlight on inclusivity. Next to Satan will ban pregnancy. Yeah. I think I'm picking up on Disney being proud to be pushing back. Proud to take a stand. I think Walt Disney is probably influencing. And you know, Walt Disney was, his body's frozen. He thought maybe he could come back. I don't know if he would want to, but Walt Disney lived in tumultuous times too. Disney is a happy place in an unhappy state. I hate to tell you, but I think that we have to start calling it what it is. Florida is right now under the so-called leadership of a fascist. So Florida is leaning towards fascism. So you have to get activated. Yeah, I'm frightened of DeSantis more than any other LGBTQ person ever. I'm going to switch cards. I'm going to switch decks and go to, let's see, the Aquarian Tarot. Hang on, I have to decide. Yeah, Florida's really bad. Yeah, they're getting a bad education and a bad reputation too. I'm being very picky about my cards tonight. Hang on a second, let me grab these. I haven't read in a while. Alright. I have to remember to do my commercial at the halfway point. I'm going to read on Ron DeFascist. I just dumped cards all over the floor. Fascist state. Yeah, it's good. Florida is becoming a fascist state, but we still live in a democracy. So, okay, Florida is becoming a fascist state, but we still live in a democracy. So take advantage of that fact. That's why I was ranting a little bit about, if you protested before, that's wonderful. Keep protesting, right? I know you are. Ron DeFascist, how's he doing? I told you he wouldn't run for president. I don't know why they're making such a hoopla around him running for president. He never, it's funny, you just said lamb chop, and I was just like, I should show you guys my mascots over there. I don't see him running for president. He's not thrown his hat in the ring anyway. It's almost like everybody started talking about Ron running for president, but he never said he was. I know it's on his mind, but he never said he was. Feel bad for the teachers in Florida. They don't have the freedom to properly teach their kids. I think I've been picking up on Ron DeFascist's fantasies in his head. Remember I said he fantasizes about sending the police, like the military police, to Disney World. That's one of Ron DeFascist's fantasies. The other is to get teachers arrested. It's just what he fantasizes about. Hit the thumbs up if you can. You can. You just go beep. He can't say he's running, or he'll have to step down. Yeah, but I also think that's a good point. But I also think that he's not sure. Wonder why there isn't a teacher walkout. Well, they need their jobs. Florida law says he can't say he's running. Yeah, and that's why Charlie Crist took him to task on that. Remember during their debate? He likes power too much, but it's blind lust for power. Ron DeFascist has this blind lust for power. It's an OCD thing, and we were talking about that on Wednesday. So where he is, his wife, Casey DeFascist, he has an ad running in Illinois. What's it say? His wife would read him the riot act if he didn't run for president. I've seen this before. I'm seeing it again. Casey DeSantis is really putting so much pressure on. This is a 7 of Wands. Ron's under a lot of pressure to run for president. Biden's going to announce he's going to be rerunning next month. I think I heard that. And I feel like it is coming next month. The Knight of Coins. Ron DeFascist is under investigation for stealing money from the state of Florida. And that's what's going on there. Some skeletons are going to come flying out of the closet. Yeah, well, you can hope, but I mean, hope and hope and hope. And I do see that that's going to happen. A wicked lot of pressure from her, from his wife. You better run for president. She's like, she's banking on it. She's counting on it. And I pick up that Mrs. DeSantis, wow, I guess this is a thing. I'm picking up that Casey DeSantis needs for Ron to run for president. I guess it's a thing. It feels like because that means they can cover up their crimes. We know he gets money from Russia. I don't know if you have heard me say that, but I've been saying that for a long time. And I hope it's common knowledge. I really do hope it's common knowledge. Wow. She's hoping. I want you to see my stop gun violence and gun violence too. She's hoping, God, I can't believe this is the way these people think. He needs to run for president so he can hide the crimes. I'm really confused about that. President and First Lady fascist. It's not going to happen anyway. It's common knowledge. Well, you know, Sandra, you're saying it's common knowledge, but you'd be surprised how many people don't know that Ron DeFascist has a connection to Russia. Does it make sense? I feel like Casey DeSantis wants him to run, and it's this kind of scrambly energy, because then we can cover up our crimes, because there'll be so much activity, we can cover up our crimes. She has some sketchy money things going on too. I don't understand why she would think that that would hide the crimes. He must have learned from Trump, and now Trump is bashing him, right? And you know, speaking of Ron DeSantis, I called him by his right name. Monkey see, monkey do, maybe. Yeah, so do a lot of our representatives. I guess I hadn't thought of it that far, because I would never do that, you would never do that. But I really feel like, well, I guess because Trump's going to do that. I just didn't really think about that with Ron. But his wife wants him to run for president so they can cover up their crimes. It's interesting times we live in. Let's see what's going to happen with the book bans. I see Ron fantasizing that teachers get arrested. Remember when he was arresting people for voting? Try to keep up. Do you remember when Ron was arresting people for voting who had gotten out of prison and had received notice that it was that they were good to go with voting, and then they went and voted, and then he sent the police after them? She wants to be another Jackie O, I know. She's remember that? Your teacher friends there in Florida are miserable. They need to come together. President equals get out of jail free card. Is that really? I guess that's why Trump wanted that. I mean, shouldn't be that way. I thought it was Casey, right? DeSantis is an idiot. I'm going to read on how the book ban is going. We're in America. We are in the United States of America. We have to not let normalize this. We can't normalize, oh, that voting thing is a problem, okay? We can't normalize that. We can't normalize, oh, those books, you can't read those books. We can't normalize that. I think the fascists did learn from Trump's playbook. He thinks he's above the law. It's not going so well. Let's see how those book bans are going. Well, I don't think they'll last. The world is watching. The Nine of Wands, see the skulls burning? Wow, this is an interesting card. This is what he wants. This is about the book bans. He wants to have a big old bonfire. Oh, he's a very twisted man. Nixon, Reagan, Bush all got out of jail free cards. I guess so. Hey, Damon. The world is watching. We're going to see this for a little while. I know this is weird, but I feel like I'm picking up on what Ron DeFascist, the things that he dreams up in his head. And he's dreaming up in his head to have a huge bonfire of books. And he's dreaming up in his head to have, like, military police storm Disney World. It's weird. And he's got, in his head, he thinks about, he dreams up having teachers arrested. I'm telling you, that's what I get. That's what I'm picking up from him. Shall we go to the, excuse me, the clown hearings? Should we skip, but Ron's wearing those pretty boots at the bonfire. Oh, those white boots, they'd melt. He's such a boy. He's such a bad child. Shall we go to the clown hearings? His head is a bad neighborhood. Yeah, really, it's true. I'm not sure if they wrapped up the clown hearings in New York yet. Does anybody know? I'm gonna read on the clown hearings. Let's ask if the clown hearings are going to migrate to another neighborhood near you. MTG got shut down today. Didn't she get shut down yesterday too? Are they taking the clown show to different states? Oh my goodness. We really need to start protesting. Grassrootsofdemocracy.com. They're going to take the clown show to different states. Oh, it's time for my commercial. Around halfway through my show, I do a commercial break. A spiritual approach to weight loss class. We're going to start a new class May 13th. Go to my website if you want to take the class about a spiritual approach to weight loss. You can still jump in on the class that's going on now. But there's going to be a new class starting up on May 13th. To book a reading, psychicandetdion.com. Pretty much soup to nuts in terms of what you'll get out of a reading. We're right in between the was it yesterday? Wait a minute, I'm losing track. We're right in between the solar eclipse yesterday and the lunar eclipse on May 5th. If you get a reading, you won't regret it because it's going to help you navigate this energy. So we're in the sandwich time. We're in between the solar eclipse and a lunar eclipse. So big changes, like it or not. I mean, they can be changed for the good or change for the not so good or change for, just change. Just change. Oh, thank you, Annetta. That's sweet. Liz just got back with her dog. What kind of dog you got? So anyway, get a reading, psychicannetdion.com. You can book it there. And you're talking about MTG. May 6th, I have a pendulum class. Pendulum classes are a lot of fun. All our classes are fun. Some are more serious than others. May 6th, and to join Grassroots of Democracy, you can go to grassrootsofdemocracy.com. Minnie Dashan? Aw. Grassrootsofdemocracy.com. On Tuesday nights, we do a guided meditation for a healed America. And go to grassrootsofdemocracy.com if you want to sign up to join us for that. You're listening but not able to do the wrench thing. Thanks for letting us know. I think we're good so far. I haven't seen any overwhelming rude comments. I haven't seen any rude comments, actually. It's good. We're attracting positive vibes. And what else do I have to tell you? Church of Spirituality every single Sunday at 1, live streamed here. I put a lot of energy into it. It's really good. Watch the old Church of Spirituality services. You will get upliftment. You will get a positive message that will inspire you, I promise. There's music, there's readings from spiritual books and fellowship, and we pray for each other. So come to that. I've dropped a card. It seems to be a thing. Actually, you know what? The Aquarian deck wants to be read, so hang on. The Aquarian deck jumped out of the box, so I'm taking that as a message. We're going to read on Jim Jordan. We're actually going to read on the clown hearings. I do see that they have egg all over their faces, that these hearings are backfiring on them, on the fascists. The hearings are backfiring. It's giving them an opportunity to... Oh, thank you. You love Church of Spirituality. Thanks for saying that. It's given the Democrats an opportunity to say, okay, here's the real story, right? So the desire for sound bites and memes and a spot on Fox is what is motivating the clown show to continue. Because these fascists are so stupid. They really think that it's going to give them more power to keep the clown shows going. To keep these, what are they? They're always saying, kangaroo court and, that like January 6th committee that wasn't real. They're always saying that kind of thing. And they're making total asses of themselves. Let's just be honest. They're making total asses of themselves. And they're giving the Democrats an opportunity, just like the whole Afghanistan thing. Go in and watch if you haven't seen it. That, they're bringing up how Joe Biden took us out of Afghanistan. And so since they're bringing it up, then the Democrats retort with, okay, here's how Trump made Afghanistan so dangerous. He met, there's a representative called Moskowitz, I think is his last name, and he was the one that spoke about it. And I knew this, but I don't think the American people, enough American people knew this. I do remember when Trump invited the Taliban to meet with him, and it was right around 9/11. Do you remember that? Not to mention he invited the Saudis to come more recently to the United States to have a golf tournament on one of his golf courses, right? I think it might have been the 4th of July. He invited the Taliban to Camp David, and then after that, what happened was 5,000 terrorists in Afghanistan were released from prison because of Trump, because he gave it the go-ahead, and then we had to pull out of Afghanistan. It had to be done. And then the Taliban conquered the Afghani government. And anyway, I'm making the point, and do watch those hearings. And thank you for the activism that I see in the chat. So, and then, when they were talking about gun violence in New York, and then the Democrats had an opportunity to point to all their districts and how much crime was way more rampant, and crime has gone way down in New York City. So there are actually opportunities for truth to come to the forefront. That was a long way of describing what's going on in those stupid hearings. So I'm going to just pull 3 cards about the energy of that. Okay. All right. Yeah, Camp David on the anniversary of 9/11. I mean, it's despicable. Donald J. Trump is an enemy of the United States. And right to all these news stations that are treating him like he's a viable candidate. I'm not talking just about Fox. Okay. The Queen of Cups. This is about Marjorie Taylor Greene. Well, I have the death card. I have the death card. Yeah, amazing. The King of Rods. The Democrats are going to come out looking pretty good. This is going to have the opposite effect on the fascist, insurrectionists, election deniers, MAGA representatives. It's going to have the opposite effect of what they set out for, just so you know. All right. Marjorie Taylor Greene, she came up right there. I saw the death card for her. I think it's over for her. Wish she'd go away this weekend. She's so repulsive. Moms for Liberty lost in Illinois. Good. Yeah, that's true. We need to take them down. Hang on. I was going to ask about that. Are these hearings going to make our democracy stronger? Are these... Yeah, these hearings are actually making our democracy stronger, just so you know. So do not fret. And I want you to know that the more they take away, the more that the fascists take away our rights, the more they do that, the more reasons, the more heinous they are, the more reasons they give us to fight back, the stronger we become as a democracy. It's actually a different way of looking at it. But we will become so much stronger as a country because we have so many really, really big problems coming up. You missed Empty Green's temper tantrum. You can find everything on YouTube. You don't have to miss it. Just go look it up. Sorry you missed it live. We have so many problems coming up in the world that this whole MAGA era is the thing that's going to activate us more than anything else would, out of pretty much desperation, because we have to build up the necessary energy to fight back on the problems that we're having. I mean, I was reading an article today, I think it was the UN was saying that we've gone past the point of being able to stop glacial melt. The glaciers are melting at an astronomical rate. We have big, 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 big problems that aren't being solved. So when there are book bans, when they are taking away our voting rights, when they're taking away women's rights, when they're taking away, you know, just taking away all our rights, when they're doing that, Marjorie Taylor Greene looks just as heinous in a review on YouTube. When they're doing all that, we can't possibly just sit by because it's too heinous. We can't live with what they're doing. And that is totally, I know, point of personal inquiry, there's no such thing. There's somebody's quoting what was said at the hearing. That was pretty funny. So, because it's so bad, more of us will be involved and engaged, which is what we need to solve future problems that are coming, you know, now and in the future. So, we're going to be a brand new country. We will be a brand new country because we have to be involved. And then we'll all love each other and we'll be holding hands and we'll be singing songs and we'll be glad that we're Americans. And I had this idea today that I wish the news would have a segment on The good, like America, the good people. A segment on the good people. Kumbaya. I was trying not to say that. No, we won't be saying Kumbaya. We'll be saying We Are the World or something. So I'm going to actually read a little bit more about these clown hearings. Just more vibe on that. Yeah, look it up on YouTube. You can find anything on YouTube, including some pretty good psychics. Okay, so just reading more about these hearings, and actually what's interesting about this is I think I got these same cards the other night. You live every day a proud American. Let's all be proud Americans. I like how Midas Touch says, by the way, if you just joined me, this shirt is in the merch section of Midas Touch. You can probably find it there. I also have one that says, Fight Fascism or something. Knock Out Fascism. I have that one too. I might wear it tomorrow at our Grassroots of Democracy meeting. So reading further about these hearings, the Queen of Cups, this just seems to be saying that that the tipping point comes with the Marge. With Marjorie Taylor Greene. Yeah, we have to deal with climate change. We'll get to that too. Earth Day is coming. Earth Day is tomorrow? Earth Day is tomorrow. I'm still reading about these clown hearings. The Seven of Cups, the Fool. They are freaking delusional. These representatives, these fascist representatives, are freaking delusional. And they're fools. And it is going to convince a majority of the American people, the normal people, Earth Day is Saturday, tomorrow, the normal people are going to just be shaking their heads. And Marjorie Taylor Greene is going to be she will be the tipping point. She's like the figurehead for the fools that they are. She's like the representative for the fools that they are. She's the personification of the fools and the formerly known as Republican Party. Unfreaking believable. It's not going to go well for them. It's not. This is not helping them at all. Not even a little. It's very much working against them. I do want to read on Pinocchio, because I think I meant to the other night. Yeah, send a donation to save the oysters in the Chesapeake Bay. That sounds good. Now you're making me want some oysters. Tip her over. Yeah, okay. If they want to keep going down that road and having these crazy, foolish, ridiculous, oh my God, what a bunch of asses are making out of themselves hearings, have at it. They are really... We're going to take a look at green technology and all that. They are really, they should really just quit, because they're making it worse. They're digging a bigger and bigger hole for themselves, keeping up these hearings. Speaking of weather and climate and all that that we're mentioning, it's really cold in Massachusetts. I don't know how it is where you are, but I've been having to wear my winter coat again. It's a little extreme differences, extreme changey weather. Okay. You guys are totally making me hungry. Back to the reading. Pinocchio. We know who we're talking about. If you don't know who I'm talking about, just let me know. Pinocchio. I didn't realize I was hungry till you started talking about crab cakes and stuff. The pillow guy went crying to Trump because of money he may owe. Oh, I wouldn't be surprised. It's hot in California. Yeah, I shouldn't complain about the coolness of the air, and I'm not complaining. I'm just saying it's so strange. It was hot last week for a couple days. You know what I mean? You have a chance of snow tonight in Illinois? Yikes. George Santos, aka Pinocchio. 82 in New York? Really? I wonder if that's coming our way. Gosh, it's like it's 50 here. Pinocchio. This job that he's in is too burdensome. George Santos is Pinocchio. We don't know his real name. No, we don't. Actually, I actually think he doesn't know his real name. Yeah, the hearings are on taxpayers' money and accomplish nothing. Marshmallow McCarthy, that's what we call him. The rest of the, yeah. So the American people are going to get really angry. And by the way, speaking of people getting angry at their representatives, I'm just going to go back to Ron DeSantis for a second. Ron DeSantis not dealing with the problems that Florida's having right now is his absolute downfall. They are made of peeps. I have a whole box of peeps here. I haven't really opened them. I think I'm going to melt them and make marshmallow treats. Rice Krispie treats. I know, I'm tempted to have a peep, but we'll see. We'll see how long this goes. Yeah. George Santos, Pinocchio can't handle the pressure. This is a rebuilding. Yeah, well, the Democrats are strongly working, strongly hard at getting him ousted. And I said this at Grassroots of Democracy at our meeting last night. Please visualize. Print it out on a piece of paper. Democrats win the House. I know, it's the biggest box of peeps ever. It's true. It's true. So I'm going to be making Rice Krispie treats. Melt them down and listen to them scream. Ah! Anyway. You're voting for Republicans in 2024? Okie dokie. No worries, I got it. Let me just say about Donald J. Trump, in case you don't really think about it very much. Donald Trump wanted Mike Pence assassinated. Jack Smith is doing his job. Donald Trump wanted Mike Pence assassinated. Donald Trump wants people assassinated. Donald Trump wants retribution. Donald Trump wants violence. Donald Trump wants, he hates all his followers. Donald Trump wants to be like Kim Jong-un. I know that I'm preaching to the choir here, but I really want you to tell people that that's what's going on here, so that people don't let it sink in their heads, if they're not really paying attention, that he's a viable candidate. That was the first troll attack. I hadn't had any others. Oh, it's because I don't have very many wrenches and I don't have very many. Wow. Does anybody want to wield the wrench? Well, we're getting attention. Sandy, you want to wield the wrench? All you do is save me from the trouble of it. I haven't seen Spanky in a while. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, but I'll make you a wrench person. If uptick, thank you. Okay, appreciate it. It helps me to focus if I'm not interrupted by people that want this country to be completely destroyed. When I'm not interrupted by people that want our country to be hugely violent and to fall apart. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that, why they're saying you can't block me. Anyway. Oh, the excitement never ends. You have been busy. You want to be a wrench? I can just make you a wrench. I mean, actually, yeah. So that means when you see a troublemaker, you can get rid of it. Yeah. Okay. Meanwhile, back to Kevin McCarthy. I don't know, Gloria. Sometimes you do say that they're not showing up on your screen. I'm not sure. And with AI and stuff, yeah, thank you, Kelly. They come after truth tellers. With AI and stuff, I kind of am anticipating there'll be more of that. But yeah, thank you for wielding the wrench. I appreciate that. Anyway, we're gonna read on Kevin McCarthy. What we're gonna read on, let's pick a particular topic. What we're gonna read on with Kevin McCarthy is this whole debt ceiling debacle. I think they're gone too. Yeah, they're gone. No worries. No worries. We swatted the mosquitoes away. The MAGA mosquitoes. Okay. The debt ceiling and Kevin McCarthy. What's the energy? Okay. Our Constitution wins. This is about the debt ceiling and Kevin McCarthy. Our Constitution wins. It's unconstitutional for them to not agree to raise the debt ceiling. It would lead to a worldwide economic crisis. Oh, you know what? Hang on a second. Yes, good work taking down the trolls. What about Abbott enforcing the 10 Commandments in school there? What? It's too much news. Is that really true? Anyway, as far as the debt ceiling goes, the Six of Swords is indicative to me of the investigations coming down on the insurrectionists that are in our government, weakening Kevin McCarthy's position. Kevin McCarthy was part of the insurrectionists. He knew about it, part of the insurrection. And the Hierophant and the Emperor are coming up, and this is about the debt ceiling. They will not be able to not raise the debt ceiling. And when I read about it the other day, I got that they were going to fight to the bitter end. But was Q... Okay, sorry, I'm reading the chat. People who switch parties should get sued. I agree with that. 87 in Southern California. I'm not complaining about the cool weather. About the debt ceiling, I don't feel like Kevin McCarthy will be able to do what he's thinking of doing. Russia bombed one of their own cities yesterday. That's a turning point. I see that as a turning point. Well, you know, are they doing it the last minute? When I read on the debt ceiling on Wednesday, it looked like they would wait and down to the wire. They would just take it like down to the wire. But it's shifting a little bit. It's shifting a little bit because the power of the Democrats is getting more intense, more intensely strong. And the Six of Swords, gosh, I'm telling you, those insurrectionists that are in office right now, they're going to be called out. They're going to be subpoenaed. They're going to be called out. That's what I see. Why anybody would want Donald J. Trump in charge of this country is beyond me. Does anyone have any ideas about that? Why anybody would want Donald J. Trump to lead this country. Does anybody have any idea? Let's read on Abbott, since you brought it up. I hadn't heard that. I mean, he's a violent, deranged, sociopath, malignant narcissist, horrible person that doesn't care about anybody but himself. Can anybody explain that? What, are you confused about what I said? Greg Abbott. What's going on for him? I see guns all around Greg Abbott. I think that's I see guns all around Greg Abbott. I think that's pointing to how much money. It's like Greg Abbott's working for the NRA. That's what it feels like. Yeah, I mean, maybe I need to read on it. Why would anybody want the president of their country to be a violent, bombastic, deranged, malignant narcissist, sociopath, murderous person? When's the pillow guy going down? Well, I read on him the other night and I got that he wasn't going to be in as much trouble as some other people. HB 15 in the Texas House right now. He wants the 10 Commandments in every... Thou shalt not kill? Greg Abbott is wanting the 10 Commandments? That doesn't make any sense. Justice is coming for Greg Abbott. I'm not sure what that's about. The Eight of Cups. Unfortunately, I see more shootings in Texas. And the reason that I'm telling you that is because it's connected to Abbott letting it be like the Wild West. And I'm just saying in a general way. I'm not honing in on something specific. But justice is coming for Greg Abbott, and the Eight of Cups has to do with all the grieving in Texas over gun violence. The Three of Cups is coming up, which is it's same kismet. I see people celebrating Beto coming back on the scene. Oh, they don't want to separate church and state in Texas. They want us to be a Christian nationalist extremist country. Well, you all know that, right? You all know that. You know that, and it came out of Marjorie Taylor Greene's mouth a few times. Not just her, Lauren Boebert. They want us to be an extreme Christian nationalist, forcing their brand of Christianity down everyone's throat. That's what they want. They want that. They want to be able to shut me down. They want to be able to shut down Church of Spirituality and readings and us being together. And they want to shut down... The Bible has a lot of violence in it, by the way. Yeah, $14 million from NRA and guns. And yeah, I think it's more than that. See for Navalny. I can't read on Navalny. I can't read on Navalny. It's too hard. It's just too... It's too hard. I do want to read on the is it the Wall Street Journal? The journalist. I'm gonna pull some cards about the journalist that's detained in Russia and being tried for spying. Let's see. I feel like the journalist that's been detained in Russia, after a challenging time and some kind of a trade, he'll get out. I'm not getting a time frame, but I feel like towards the end of the year. The evangelicals want state religion like the Taliban. Yes, they do. Yes, and that's... Our country was founded on getting away from that. Bring Beto back. It looks... I saw the Three of Cups. It looks like Beto will come back. I do see that. Okay, you can throw up your questions so we get to make sure we're answering everything that's really relevant right now. Freedom from religion. That's our country was founded on that. And remember, like Justin Pearson was saying, our country was founded on rebelliousness. Are fighting for freedom, right? We will not let hate win. Damn it. All right, I don't see you putting up any questions, so I can make up my own. Will Fox News sue 45 for his lies? No. No. Well, the dollar gets stronger or weaker as That's so variable. Yeah, the two Justins definitely give us hope. Let's read on them. Let's read on the two Justins. We need to write to get Cameron Sexton, the Tennessee Speaker of the House, to get him ousted because he's not in his seat legally, because he doesn't live in the district that he says he's from, that he lives in. He actually lives in Nashville. To Cookville, maybe he says he's from Crossville. I'm reading on the Justins in Tennessee. Pray for the Justins in Tennessee because they're getting a lot of death threats. They're okay, but they're getting a lot of death threats. And anybody who's getting death threats, we have to send protective energy around them. The Tennessee Republicans and their state government, they're in the process of being like really uncovered for their heinous activities. He should be removed. He should be impeached. And so they're trying to inflict like emotional pain on the two Justins, and I won't get into how they're doing that. Yes, Fani will be successful. Fani Willis will be successful. Interesting. That's a good point, because there was a representative in Tennessee who quit. Who resigned because of his sexual exploits. Farrell Ann, let me say something. She's saying that he saying scary feelings about Beto. Okay, well we can like all go into a corner and be afraid, or we can do our calling. And Beto's calling is to be in public office, and as the two Justins. So what we have to do is send protective energy around them. We have to keep going. You know what I mean? Anyway. So the two Justins in Tennessee are up against a lot of death threats, but like it gets worse before it gets better, because these dug in red state Republicans that are racist as racist can be are going to be resorting to really mean tactics. They'll never give up. Absolutely. Kennedy's a joke. Don't even. Yeah. Anyway, the high priestess is that there are investigations going on in Tennessee about their representatives. The corrupt ones, and they're not liking it. But the investigations will uncover some things that will get people ousted, just like the one that was accused of sexual misconduct. I don't know where they dig these people up, honestly. I feel like I'm forgetting something. We read on the debt ceiling. The bigger picture is going to be beautiful. That's a good point. The bigger picture is beautiful. Gloria, are you in law? I don't want to hear anybody bashing Merrick Garland or Jack Smith or being impatient. We're all in the same boat. We're all in the same boat, right? We want them to do a thorough job so that the criminals are held accountable. MTG is definitely already being investigated. Letitia James is going to win. Alvin Bragg is going to win. Democracy is going to win. I just want you to know. Yeah, we're all impatient. We're totally with you, Gloria. We are all impatient. We just have to be, we have to. Jack is an Ironman. He does Ironmans. Can you imagine? I've been a runner my whole adult life. I can't imagine doing an Ironman. I don't run anymore like I used to. Okay. Well, what the heck? We'll look at Trump's, let's look at Trump's legal situations. Plural. Oh, wait, I know what. I read on that Kavanaugh clearance. I did read on that on Wednesday. Courts go really slow. Really slow. So in the whole scheme of things, they're doing a good job. We don't want them. I mean, I've read many times on what Jack Smith and Merrick Garland are up to, and they really want to keep it away from the press. I read on Thomas on Wednesday. Were you with us on Wednesday? Thomas is going. I think we pegged that at, and I talked about that. Yeah, I agree with that. The SCOTUS will be different. I talked about that with Kathy Beal. Check out the podcast, Spirit Talk podcast here on my channel. We went into pretty big conversation, compared notes on when we think Clarence will be done, and Kevin McCarthy and all that. And there's a lot of information there. Anyway, it lined right up. I don't think Clarence is going to still be in office in the fall. He might go sooner than that. Garland announced he'll prosecute Russian mass murder of Ukrainians. Yeah, check out the podcast too with the astrology. It's really, really good. I just have no marketing. That's my problem. I have no marketing. People would get all this information, more people, if I had, I don't know, an agent. Go under live. When you go to my YouTube channel, at Psychic Annette Dion, go under the live. Happy days are coming. I like it. I like that positive attitude. Come to Grassroots of Democracy. Please. Trump in general. With all this legal stuff. Trump in general. Please hit the thumbs up before we go. Change for the worse. Boy, this Queen of Cups is really speaking to me tonight. She keeps showing up. The Wheel of Fortune, this is a turn for the worst. The Queen of Cups, this is the legal system coming after Trump. We have some waiting to do, but we have some waiting to do in terms of him being like locked up or kept from doing any more harm. But the Wheel of Fortune is turning not in Trump's favor. The Queen of Cups, this is Fani Willis and Letitia James energy. Yeah, the SpaceX, big yawn on that one. Anyway, let's pick 3 cards for community. I might do a channeling soon. $10.24. Anyway, sorry. Bet Melania can't wait. Joy Springer is the same person. What? Damon. I didn't see your name at first, and I'm like, oh, good troll. Damon poses as a troll sometimes. Sparkling Bunny is bringing us luck. Three cards for the weekend. Don't go, you have to get this important message. Please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for hitting the thumbs up. Much appreciated. 3 cards to tie us over. Please show up at Church of Spirituality. You don't even have to leave your house. Every Sunday at 1. Activate for democracy. You don't want to live in under a fascist regime. Believe me, you don't. Okay. Over the weekend, we will hear a victory in terms of justice. We will hear some accountability over the weekend about justice. We're going to have a good news story about justice. Thank you, Kathy. the Five of Swords, along with some hardship. We are rebuilding, but it's very, very, very gradually. Oh, thanks, Kelly. She enjoys Church of Spirituality. It's one of my favorite times of the week. No, I don't see anything in Ivana's coffin. So as far as the weekend goes, we will have good news about some advancement legally on a justice-related matter. The Five of Swords is what's going to be highlighted in the news is these vicious, vicious attacks on our democracy. I don't mean violence. I mean vicious attacks on our democracy. But it's kind of good news that it's right in our faces because we know what we're up against. It's like it's better to know the enemy, and the enemy is within. The enemy is within this country. The people that are acting like fascists are working for Putin. Whoever occupies that body called Putin, which is, not just one person. In more ways than one. The Ace of Swords. Communication messages will get stronger in terms of democracy. So yeah, come join us just come join us for our meetings. Grassrootsofdemocracy.com. You just type in your email address and join us. We have fun. We do have fun. I love you guys. Tell your friends. Yeah, the enemy's within this country. All right, have a great evening. Have a fabulous weekend, and we'll see you really soon. You're awesome. Pat yourself on the back. Namaste.